Welcome, friends, family, and graduates of the Environmental Design class of 2023. In addition to all of you here in person, we have guests joining us via live stream. Oh, hello to all of you across the globe and the country. My name is Stacy Schulte. I'm the director of the program in environmental design, and it's an honor to be here with you today. This is absolutely the best day of the academic year when we celebrate the completion of your undergraduate education. I share the stage with some of our amazing faculty and staff.
Oh, a skunk.
I'd like to thank in particular the staff who made this event possible. Amanda Pyers and Angela Kahlo Christensen in particular put a lot of hard work into this event. And they're out there somewhere. It takes a lot to run the environmental design program. Somebody has to make sure there's rooms for your classes, that you're assigned an advisor. Someone has to know the answer for every random question that you might have. For 27 years, Peg Gordon has been instrumental in making all of these happen and much more as the assistant director of ENVD. Today, Peg is graduating, or what is more commonly known as retiring. Unlike you, after her graduation, she doesn't have to find a job. She gets to take a well-deserved break. Peg, if you'll please stand. You'll put your hat on. So Peg, if you'll move your tassel over to the left to convince your graduation. Congratulations, Peg. Thank you. Graduates of 2023. There's a lot to say about the last 4 years, but there's a memory that sticks out to me, which was I was with many of you down on Pearl Street for 1040 Freshman Planning Studio. Yeah. And we were standing out there on Pearl Street in the March sunshine. We're talking about building proportions and street furniture and what creates a sense of place. And you all started looking at your phones. And you were all really polite students who weren't usually glued to your phone in class, so I knew something was going on. And you started telling me that CU had sent out a message saying that classes were canceled because of COVID. And we know now that that was the start of a really trying time of being remote for over 1.5 years, almost after that. But you all persevered in school and in life, and we're all so proud of you for being here today and doing the amazing job that you did. And now is an absolutely amazing time to go out into the mythical real world and create a place that is more healthy, just, and beautiful. You all have the skills, talent, and capacity to do just that. So we're celebrating you today, the students. To help us do that, we have a former student to give our commencement address. Each year, we ask our alumni award recipient from the previous year to serve as our graduation speaker. I am pleased to announce Jordan Lochner, our 2022 distinguished alum. Jordan graduated from ENVD in 2013. He is the principal architect at his firm Collab Architecture based in Northern Colorado. In addition to owning his own multifaceted firm, he's been actively involved in many community outreach activities. These include serving as the AIA Colorado Associate Director in 2018 and mentoring young professionals. His passion for architecture stems directly from his personal experiences and his understanding that every project should have a positive and lasting impact on the community. Welcome, Jordan.
Thank you, Stacy. Oh,
It is so fantastic to be back on campus, and I would like to thank the University of Colorado School of Environmental Design for this amazing honor to speak with you all today. The day is here, a day that I know so many of you have been waiting for and looking forward to. I will keep this brief as I assume you all have many celebrations to attend later. That being said, I am humbled and honored to stand before you on this memorable day as we celebrate the achievements of the graduating class of 2023. I want to personally congratulate all these individuals on their incredible journey and accomplishments. As an environmental design alum, I understand that this was no easy feat and was a challenge both mentally and physically. From the many hours dedicated to the studio, the long nights, the early mornings, the infinite model making iterations with most likely a few Band-Aids involved, and the countless critiques, I personally understand the commitment and time that goes into this achievement. I still remember when I graduated. It's hard to believe that it was exactly a decade ago to this day. It was one of the happiest moments of my life as I was the first college graduate from my family. At the same time, there was a little bit of a scary unknown of what my next steps would be. What happens next in the real world? Although I had aspirations and goals of where I wanted my career to end up, I did not have my next steps planned. To be honest, the only thing I had on my mind was a celebratory trip after graduation and spending a little more time outside the studio with my friends and family. At the time, I was conflicted with a few different decisions. Do I continue my education to get my master's degree or go straight into my professional career? What I did have was a clear set of personal and career goals established, though. By no means did I take the traditional path, but with a little luck and a little help from my peers and mentors, I've been able to pursue my passion of design. I soon realized, though, that there was more than just a little luck. Looking back, I have come to the conclusion that with hard work and using the tools and skills that were provided to me while at this program, I was given a professional startup kit that helped me adapt and work in a variety of different careers and settings. This combination has helped me succeed in this industry, and I still use them to this day. There's a common phrase that you may have heard that states, the harder you work, the luckier you get. And I cannot emphasize how important I think that simple statement is. That same hard work and dedication you all have shown and exemplified to get to this point right now, there's no doubt that you are all incredibly talented, a talent that has helped you achieve this milestone and will continue to assist you in your future endeavors. But please remember that hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. I encourage you to use this experience and accomplishment as a foundation to motivate yourself to reach your goals and your future successes. Remember the hard work, those late nights, those early mornings, and those countless critiques. But most importantly, embrace this feeling and accomplishment you have now. Although you have hit this milestone in your journey, I want to share something that a mentor once shared with me on how to achieve success, not only in your career, but in your life. As a mentor that worked for 50 years before recently retiring, he would say daily in the office, never stop learning, never stop pushing yourself. Our world, but specifically our field of design, is always changing, adapting, updating, and reconstructing. Whether your educational career continues or you enter your professional career, I urge each of you to continue learning every day. Push yourself, try new things, and have an open mind as well, as the path isn't always clear. This has been a quote that I've used as a guiding principle, but I've recently added a small addition. Never stop learning, never stop pushing yourself, and embrace every day as a gift. Every day. Whether it is a high or a low, it is part of a much larger journey. One that will quickly pass by with time. Trust me, it feels like just yesterday, I was sitting exactly where you are. Whether your journey leads you down your desired career path or finds a way to surprise you with another, I am confident that this group of individuals will succeed. Not only do you have the skills and knowledge to be a problem solver, you have a unique talent and creativity to go beyond and think outside the box from an entirely different perspective. One of my favorite quotes from Albert Einstein said, "Logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere." I believe that each of you have the rare ability to combine these two qualities of logic and imagination. And that is what will assist you in being a true difference maker in your life and your career. In your time here at the University of Colorado, I hope that you have all had the chance to embrace this community and specifically find a sense of place that has inspired you, pushed you, and supported you. Look around at your colleagues. I urge you to embrace the connections you've made, that sense of community and collaboration that you all have endured to get here. It would be foolish to not also look further into that support system at your family, your professors, your friends and relatives who have joined you in your journey and taken the time to help mold you into the individual you are today. I want to highlight the importance quickly on this community and your connections as you continue in the next steps of your journey, as honestly, it has been one of the most influential factors in my own. You've all made the incredible decision to help design and shape our communities on a local and potentially a global level. This is a powerful responsibility and one that should not be taken lightly. You have the opportunity to make a difference in not only your community, but directly affect the lives around you. I am honored for you to be joining me as you enter the next steps in your education and professional career, and I look forward to the difference that we can make together. Thank you again, and congratulations to the class of 2023.
Thank you, Jordan. We are now going to recognize the students who have attained the highest GPA in their major. Teaching Assistant Professor Danielle Belot will begin the introductions of this year's distinguished and outstanding graduates.
Good evening, parents, students, colleagues, and all supporters of those walking on this stage tonight. There are multiple amazing humans to celebrate today, and I have the honor and privilege to introduce one of them, Caleb Schmitz. Whoop, whoop. Caleb is the distinguished graduate in the Sustainable Planning and Urban Design major. He has earned the highest GPA in that major, but that only cracks the surface on all Caleb has accomplished in his years here. Caleb has worked as a research assistant, contributing to academic journal articles, as well as completing an honors thesis on urban form analysis and commuter transportation behaviors, where I served as his primary advisor. And let me tell you, it was amazing to watch him grow through that process. He has been an amazing TA to about 87,000 courses. That's probably a good estimate. Seriously, it's an impressive number. He has worked at CDOT as a GIS analyst and a hydrology engineering intern, where he also was a regional winner in the CDOT Innovation Challenge. He has been awarded prestigious scholarships, including the Hideo Sasaki Interdisciplinary Design Scholarship, and is also a Norland Scholar, which is no small feat. But I think the achievement or work that best represents Caleb as a person is his many years as an FYE or first year experience coordinator and mentor. It really exemplifies his willingness to help others and leave this community even stronger than he found it. I could talk for hours about Caleb, but I'll stop and let him take it from here. So congratulations, Caleb Schmitz. This is for you and hug for you.
All righty, thank you. Thank you, Danielle, for that very kind introduction. You have taught me so much about what it means to be a designer, a researcher, a student, and even a teacher. and I'm so grateful for you and the impact you have had on this program. ENVD is going to miss you a lot next year, but we're so excited to see what you do next. Let's hear one more round of applause for Danielle Bilot. And now, hello to my fellow students of the graduating class of 2023. I'm so honored and excited to share this moment with you. And just in case you were wondering from this morning, no, none of my speech was written on ChatGPT. Take a second to look around you. I think we would all agree that this class is more than just a graduating class. What we have built over the past several years is a community. And for that, I think we should all take a moment to be truly grateful. The fact that looking out at this crowd, I see some of my best friends in the world and an entire supportive community of designers who have helped define our college experience is nothing short of amazing. Before we move on to the next chapter, let's reflect on where this one started. I can still remember all of us converging on the ENVD building for our first day of college with T-squares poking out of our backpacks and a nervous excitement that lasted a semester. I remember us building our first architectural assemblage models late at night, getting glue stuck to our fingers, and endlessly cutting basswood. I'm not sure if it was our first week spent countless hours drawing Duplo blocks in the basement, or the after studio group dinners at the C4C, but our class formed a quick and lasting bond that'll knit us together for a lifetime. When I think about our class, I feel that our time in ENVD has been defined by a sense of togetherness, support, and friendship, and I hope that these are values that we continue to carry with us wherever we may go next. Now look where we are, just moments away from being official graduates of CU Boulder and the program in environmental design. None of us could have gotten here alone. Behind each and every one of us is the invisible support of our friends, family, mentors, and of course, these wonderful faculty members standing right behind me. To my own family who's standing over there, thank you. Being such an interdisciplinary program, no two of our paths from this point will be quite the same. Some of us are headed to grad school, while others of us are going to home or new cities to start jobs as architects, designers, planners, builders. Others of us have plans to travel after graduation, and some like me are still figuring it all out. No matter what happens next, we all chose to spend some time in Boulder, Colorado, exploring how we can shape the built environment around us to help build better lives for people. That choice that we all made will bind us together in some capacity for the rest of our lives. With graduation comes a time of great change, and I know I'm not the only one who feels a little sad to be leaving and more than a little confused about what to do next. But I want to leave us all with these final words of advice. As one of my friends from high school and one of the wisest people I've ever met said to me recently, remember, you don't have to go looking for your path. It is right under your feet. It always has been, and it always will be. Thank you.
That was great, Caleb. Thank you. My name is Jade Polizzi, and I'm honored to introduce the outstanding graduate in architecture, Alice Winslow. I taught Alice in 2 studios plus my history class. And when I first met Alice, it was in our sophomore level architecture studio where she impressed me with her thoughtfulness as a designer. She is skilled in many ways. As you know, I am easily impressed by students with drawing skills. And Alice has an incredible hand, a great understanding of color, texture, and proportions. Alice really thinks through how a project would be used and what would make a space both functional and inspiring. The first studio we had together was remote, so model building skills were a little rough for everyone. But by the time she finished my 3100 studio, she was also an accomplished model maker. Graphic design comes naturally to Alice, and after completing our studio, where we redesigned a new lodge for the Eldora Ski Resort, her work was one of 6 projects that Eldora displayed for over 4 months. Most importantly, Alice is a kind person. She is fun to talk to. She is a great friend to her peers and adventurous. I am excited for her future as she will return to Jackson Hole to work at a design firm over the summer, which she has for the past 2 years, and then crossed the Atlantic to live in Barcelona and teach.
Thank you so much, Jade, for that lovely introduction. I've really enjoyed having had you as an instructor throughout these past 4 years at CU. You've always encouraged me to be creative, and that is something that I think is extremely valuable, so thank you. And I would also like to start off by thanking my peers for always making the studio environment enjoyable. Even if almost half of our time here was on Zoom, we were all still able to connect both emotionally and of course when the Wi-Fi was working. But being back to in-person studio, it's always so encouraging to hear our classmates look at each other's work and say, whoa, how did you do that? We've learned so much, not just from our instructors, but also from each other. And speaking of the studio environment, shout out to my fellow architecture majors. Yeah. It may be the fact that you're all wearing head to toe black outfits today, but I can tell that you're all destined to be great architects. I would love to share the stage with you because you all deserve this acknowledgement for the amount of diligent and hard work that it took to get to where we are today. And also because this is extremely terrifying to be up here by myself. But even though this is very nerve-wracking, I'm just currently trying my hardest to imagine that this is karaoke night at Dark Horse, which happens to be tonight, so I hope to see you all there. Sorry. But before that, I would like to acknowledge the wisdom that ENVD has passed on to all of us. ENVD's curriculum has allowed me to notice that design exists all around us, and there's immense thought that goes into how we interact with our environment. We can see design here today as product designers design the chairs you're sitting in, allowing us to be here together. Landscape designers put immense thought into the nature around us, allowing our campus to coexist with our neighboring ecosystems. Urban planners design the layout of the welcoming city that you've explored today. And architects design the buildings that make up this beautiful campus, including this one with this gorgeous view, even if we are on a basketball court. But I am so thankful for the past 4 years of being in this program. It has allowed me to walk around the world with a different perspective. I now notice that thought and consideration went into everything around me, which to me makes the world seem more caring and thoughtful. We of course have learned useful and important lessons, but we've also been taught about fascinating little facts, which allow me to now explore the world rather than just simply walk around it. For example, whenever I hike in Chautauqua, I can look out to see campus's expansive red tiled roofs and be reminded of the fact that our Tuscan vernacular style is actually specific to CU and is only found here. And when I walk past the Case building on campus, I can turn to my friends and tell them that the hill that it sits on is actually completely made of styrofoam. Or when I go on a hike near NCAR, the research building that sits above Table Mesa here in Boulder, I can be reminded of the fact that its architect, I.M. Pei, designed a skylight within the building, which later gave him inspiration for the pyramid entrance to the Louvre in Paris. It's pretty cool. The world can be a huge and daunting place, but ENVD has allowed me to see it as a fascinating designed work of art. It is actually a creative composition which holds deep stories and original intention. I believe that all of us are set up to do great, considerate things as we have been connected to our environments on a deeper level. We understand what exists around us, the reasons us as humans act as we do, have an immense knowledge of the history of design in order to inspire us for our own future of design, and we now know not to put a small spiral staircase as the main point of circulation in any of our future buildings. But all in all, I am so excited to see how each and every one of us will contribute our own designs into the world and produce our own fun facts that the future generations can then pass on, continuing to make our environment an inspiring and welcoming place to live. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone, and congratulations to the amazing class of 2023. We are so proud of you. My name is Melissa Felderman, and I am a teaching assistant professor in the environmental product design major within ENVD. Tonight, I am honored to introduce the ENVD distinguished graduate for the product design major, Ty Lamphere. I have had the pleasure of being Ty's teacher this last year, though we met and worked together much earlier in his tenure. Ty has distinguished himself as an outstanding student throughout his time in ENVD. One of Ty's most notable qualities is his ability to conquer adversity. Whether he faces an unexpected hurdle in his project or in his personal life, he squarely faces his challenges and navigates through them with grace and authenticity. Not only does Ty have an innate talent for design, but he is also an exceptionally hard worker. Each project that Ty has produced has been absolutely stunning. Through his methodology, Ty embodies the spirit of the product design major. Ty studied abroad in Australia and came home excited to share everything he learned and saw with our faculty. Even in his final year, Ty is committed to ensuring the best education for himself and his peers. Ty is kind, thoughtful, generous, and humble. He shows up consistently, not just for himself, but also for his peers. Ty, we are so proud of you. It's been a joy and an honor to be your teacher. Without further ado, Ty Lamphere.
Thank you, Melissa. Just a couple of weeks ago, I was sitting in Melissa's class and she was giving a lecture on giving presentations and speeches. It was in like an entrepreneurship class. And one of the techniques that she gave us to like be confident and bold is to stand in front of the mirror and do a power stance. And so you look in front of the mirror and you just like hit a power stance. And unfortunately, I didn't have the time to do that before this. So I was hoping that maybe we could all do a power stance together. Just so we all feel a little more bold and confident today. So yeah, if you don't mind doing it with me, it's just like this. And you just go back and forth. So yeah. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, that one got a little scary. He should be, yeah, that's good technique though. And she said that was the best technique to gain confidence for a speech, but I thought the best technique would be to get a whole room of people doing something that doesn't make any sense and that I just made up. So thank y'all for doing that. ENVD class of 2023, aren't we all glad that we chose a major that saved money by not having to buy textbooks? I mean, but that's if we ignore the money spent on hardwoods like black walnut, cherry wood, pine, or maple, or X-Acto knives, MDF laser cuts, along with acrylic laser cuts, likely a new laptop when you first came here, and then Adobe Suite every year after that. 3D prints, posters. Yeah, but at least we saved some money on textbooks. You know? In all seriousness, it's been a wild ride. From the endless construction around campus to the equally endless supply of caffeine, we've been through it all. Regardless of your individual circumstances, our major breeds resilience. And recognize that in reality, you are not receiving a degree in environmental design. Instead, today you are receiving a bachelor's in resilience with an emphasis in resourcefulness and a minor in adaptability. With resilience, we can look to COVID, waking up 2 minutes before class, logging in haphazardly and pretending like we were listening. And then when the test came, using Control F to search through an entire document to mask our unpreparedness. And once we returned to class in person, there was no longer the opportunity to hide our mistakes with Photoshop, but we were still resourceful in other ways. Scouring the darkest corners of Facebook Marketplace for scrap materials and pirating software to make it through the semester. Alongside our resilience came adaptability. And I want to acknowledge moments where you chose you. The nights where you know there was more to do, but instead you chose a healthy dinner or a beer with friends or a rare full night's sleep. So thank you for choosing you. And with all that being said, I congratulate all of you sitting in front of me with your bachelor's in resilience, with an emphasis in resourcefulness and a minor in adaptability. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I'm Emily Greenwood, also a teaching assistant professor with ENVD. And this evening, it's my honor to introduce Hallie Douglas, who's not only the distinguished graduate in landscape architecture, but also our outstanding scholar of environmental design, meaning she received the highest GPA of all graduating students this year. I've been able to work with Hallie in multiple venues during her time at ENVD, lots of lecture classes, studios, a really fun independent study. And I found her to be an exceptional student. I found her to be an excellent communicator. She's always a leader among her peers and an incredibly inspired problem solver. Her empathy and understanding of people with disabilities and differently abled people and the need to not only design around them, but for them is truly exceptional and really going to be a guiding light in her career. Hallie's ability to self-advocate, be a natural leader, and laugh in the face of any and all adversity makes her an excellent student, team member, and friend. Thank you for challenging me as a teacher, and I can't wait to see what you do next.
I want to start by just congratulating all of us here. Congrats to making it through all the studios and all the lectures and the rain this morning and truly just making it here. I also want to thank my family and friends. A lot of them are over there. I would not have gotten through all of this without you, so thank you guys. I really struggled to figure out what to say today, to be honest. I don't know a lot of you because I transferred here. But I was reminded of a story a few days ago about a time that was kind of a funny mistake, but now feels oddly poetic. If you have an iPhone, you know those the notifications you get that's like 15 minutes to home and it'll like direct you home. Last fall, I accidentally clicked on that when I was driving back to my apartment, and it pulled up maps and it said 15 minutes to home, environmental design at CU Boulder. Of course, this was probably valid since that was that period where I definitely slept on my desk, cried over CAD crashing, and blasted my pump up music at 3 a.m. a bit too many times. But nonetheless, I was appalled that Apple was convinced that I literally lived at our building. Looking back now, though, I truly believe that maybe I was being sent a message because standing here today, it really does feel like I'm saying goodbye to a home. Over the past 3 years, I found something that I wasn't sure I would ever find after transferring. A community where we were all encouraged to chase our passions, ask questions, and channel our creativeness every day into every studio, project, and class. But I think what has truly made this place home for me is the people of ENVD. I hope all of you can look around this room today and see at least one person who has helped you through the rough times, celebrated with you on the best days, and then been there with you through it all. I know for me, that came in a lot of you guys sitting in front of me, as well as a lot of our faculty and staff standing behind me. This is a special place with a lot of really special people. Whether you're like me and with 3 incredible years, or I hear the working in the basement's a great time and did all 4, I truly believe that it is all of us here today that continue to make ENVD an incredible place and a home for all of those who walk through our doors. I want to end with arguably a very cheesy quote that I got on one of those cheesy wooden signs when I transferred here, but now stands right by my bedroom door and I see it every day before I leave. It says, "May you know you are exactly where you're meant to be. May you be content with yourself as you are, and let this knowledge settle into your bones and allow your soul the freedom to sing, dance, praise, and love." After we leave this building today, we're all going to be heading out to do various places to do some wicked cool things, whether they're design related or not. I just hope we can all remember that, as I have, that no matter where we go or what we're doing, that is exactly where we're meant to be and exactly what we're supposed to be doing. And finally, that no matter what, we will always have this home here at ENVD in Boulder and at the University of Colorado. So again, congratulations to everyone, and let's finally go celebrate. I'm back to talk about the ENVD Honors Program.
It's my pleasure to tell you all about some of our highest achieving students in environmental design, those graduating with Latin honors. Will all of those graduating with Latin honors please stand?
Hey, wait, I gotta go see, I'm sorry.
So the thesis-based Latin honors program, students must meet the GPA requirement, but then they also complete an independent project that offers some contribution to the field of environmental design. They work closely with a committee of 3 faculty members to carry out scholarly projects of their own choosing. These projects can be research or design-based, but ultimately must meet the high standards of scholarship as set by the ENVD Honors Council. This year, these projects varied in theme from understanding the relationship of Denver's urban form to commuter transportation behavior, to designing structures for communities particularly vulnerable for sea level rising, and explaining the cultural landscape, historic preservation, and heritage narratives of Boulder's Central Park, and a few more. This year, 5 students have worked incredibly hard to produce a piece of scholarship recognized by the university as worthy of honors. Will the Latin honors students please stand? Can we all give them a round? Yes. Congratulations to you all.
Hi, everyone. I'm Christy Rogers. I'm a teaching assistant professor here at ENVD, and I think about 20 of you were in the first class I ever taught at ENVD, 1030, right? Introduction to Landscape Architecture. So it's great to see you graduating here today. But I've also been lucky enough to be the first ever faculty co-lead of the Environmental Design Diverse Scholars Program, what we call EDDS here at ENVD. Our community has benefited from the contributions and dedication of the EDDS learning community, particularly our graduating student leaders here today. EDDS is a scholarship-based program committed to empowering underrepresented student leaders to become the next generation of diverse designers as they expand the face and mission of design. Our diverse scholars are student leaders who have demonstrated academic excellence, professional development, and a commitment to advancing diversity, equity, and inclusion in design education and industry. Many of our amazing diverse scholars alumni have mentored and supported the next generation of designers as they enter the professions. We have valued your dedication and commitment to design during your time at ENVD, and we encourage you to continue to be engaged in our community and that of the broader professions. We wish you the best as professional leaders and advocates for meaningful change in design. We would ask that you stand to be recognized. Thank you.
I'm pleased to announce our distinguished grads who are graduating with GPAs over 3.5 and 3.75. This morning, when we were at the big graduation, the chancellor recognized the graduates from across all departments who were graduating with all A's. There were 59 of them in all of the people graduating this morning, and I heard a student behind me in ENVD say, we could never get all A's in ENVD. Well, truth be told, it is pretty hard, but some people get close. So I'd like to recognize those students graduating with distinction and high distinction. Students who have achieved an accumulated CU GPA of 3.5 and 3.75 will be graduating with distinctions. Students who have achieved an accumulated CU GPA above a 3.75 receive high distinctions. Will those students receiving distinction or high distinction please stand?
You shorted it again. You shorted.
Thank you.
They got him.
I am honored now to recognize students and guests who have served in the United States Armed Forces, as well as those who have served in the past. We thank you for your service. Please rise and be recognized.
Good evening. My name is Dylan West, and I serve as ENVD's Assistant Director of Advising Quality and Student Transitions. At this time, we will take a moment to honor and remember an environmental design student who passed away last year, who is on track to graduate this semester, Sean Bushnell. I had the honor of serving as Sean's academic advisor during his entire career here at CU Boulder. Sean David Bushnell of Lakewood, Colorado, passed away on May 15th, 2022 on his 21st birthday here in Boulder. Sean was a double degree student majoring in environmental product design and evolutionary and ecology. Sean was an easygoing, kind-hearted student who enjoyed the outdoors. Staff, faculty, and fellow students in environmental design remember Sean as a critical thinker who led each conversation with intention. He consistently found ways to make complex semesters of natural science coursework and design studio look easy with a smile and excitement for the semester ahead. He had a strong curiosity and he was deeply observant. His level of thought, ideas, and perspective always elicited a joyous conversation around his role in making the world a better place. Sean is survived by his parents, David Arthur and Sally Feeney Bushnell, who are here today along with other close family members. A posthumous degree for his environmental design and evolutionary biology studies will be granted to his family. Thank you to his family for attending today and to celebrate the honor and life of Sean. He is dearly missed. Please join me in a small moment of silence. Thank you. I will now turn it back to our director, Stacy Schulte, to further recognize this graduating class.
Thank you, Dylan. We will now recognize the graduating class. Students will cross the stage in the order that they are seated, and our staff and faculty will help give them their diplomas.
Athena Coleman, landscape architecture with a minor in Spanish.
Jessica Flugwallen, urban planning.
Gabriela Hernandez, major in architecture.
Stella Newman in architecture.
Nicholas Hild, major in architecture.
Aiden Paul Liu, architecture.
Lou Lopez de Santos, major in architecture.
Ian Eldridge in architecture with a minor in architectural engineering.
Sebastian Sanders with a major in architecture.
Madeline Grace Fitchett, architecture, Latin honors.
Ava Marie Borg with a major in architecture.
Dawson Hodson, landscape architecture.
Aiden Salvi, a major in architecture and Latin honors, magna cum laude. A minor.
Lindsay Cooper in architecture.
William Koenig, major in architecture.
Tia Kavanaugh, architecture.
Grace Orpin, major in architecture.
Grant Carter, architecture.
Liam Hannigan, major in architecture.
Nick Elegant, architecture.
Hallie Douglas with a major in landscape architecture.
Ty Lannister, product design.
Alice Winslow with a major in architecture. 2 minors, 1 in Spanish and 1 in business.
Hello, Caleb. Caleb William Schmitz, sustainable planning and urban design, geography and data science. He never quits.
Ripley Stone with a major in architecture and a high distinction in Latin honors.
Taylor Valade, landscape architecture.
Lauren Ashley Williamson with a major in architecture.
Abigail Ramirez in architecture.
Hannah Lee Hopkins with a major in architecture.
Joshua Dubovik in architecture. Minor in business.
Evan Chapados with a major in architecture.
Michael Sims, architecture.
Zoe Bosham, major in architecture.
Stephen Yasa in architecture.
Olivia Fahn with a major in architecture.
Nicole Williams, architecture.
Caitlin Kotcher, major in architecture.
Nicole Anspach, architecture.
Luke Bowers, major in architecture.
Jake Bowers, architecture.
Juliana Minerabo, major in architecture.
Ella Lapello, landscape architecture.
Max Faust, major in landscape architecture, minor in geology.
Jack Gents, landscape architecture, minor in ecology and evolutionary biology.
Georgie Haynes, major in landscape architecture.
Ella Kozlowski, minors in business and geography.
Ella Stern, major in urban planning and a minor in business.
Madison Smith, urban planning, minor in sociology.
Davis Belty, major in architecture, minor in business.
Jackson Cruz, major in architecture.
Michael Albert, major in architecture. Can we see this one? But I'm gonna
Yeah.
totally destroy it. Okay. Amid Shafayan, major in architecture.
Jackson Rorex, architecture.
Jacob Coran, major in architecture.
Benjamin Joseph Kelly, major in architecture.
Brian Martino, major in architecture and magna cum laude, additional degrees in ecology and evolutionary biology.
Aya Nicole Darates. Close enough, right? Yes. Architecture, minor in business.
Travis Wise, major in architecture.
Chloe Fauchner, Fauché, excuse me, Chloe Fauché, architecture.
Brooke Kayana Kalamakami Eline, major in architecture.
Ellie Famular, architecture.
Jack Kaufman, architecture.
Duncan? Dunk.
Evelina Pinto, major in product design and a minor in economics.
Maddie Rubinoff, landscape architecture.
Austin Shore, major in landscape architecture.
Emilio Buxton, landscape architecture.
Taylor Chott, major in landscape architecture, minor in business.
Ella Schrader, landscape architecture.
Ramsey Henderson, major in landscape architecture.
Nicholas Arvidsson, architecture.
Peter Woodward, major in architecture, minor in business.
Eric Hovland, architecture.
Lucas Leon Shimizu Blume, major in architecture.
Daniel Jang, architecture.
Ian St. John, major in architecture.
Benjamin Grant, architecture.
Jake Schlabs, architecture.
Laura Sellers, sustainable and urban planning.
Can you do that? And then I want to do it.
Ryan DiZallo, architecture.
Rebecca Wettergreed, major in architecture, minor in architectural engineering, and certificate in lighting design.
Car Tenzing, architecture.
Michael Jennings, major in architecture, minor in creative technology and design.
Benjamin William Stockbridge Chastain, product design.
Nikolai Ambrani, major in product design and minor in business.
Evan Fauché, product design.
Devin Maurice Gardner, major in product design, minor in art history.
Ping Wolf, product design.
Maureen Prather, major in product design, minor. Marion, I'm so sorry. Minor in sociology.
Well, hello, Ellie Muncie, urban planning.
Will Kanzeri, major in architecture.
Corey Laurie, architecture.
Kirsten Nyquist, major in product design, minor in ecology and evolutionary biology, creative technology and design.
Gretchen Schulman, sustainable planning.
Ariel Jordan DiPozo, major product design.
Sarah Eckert, landscape.
Amanda Godfroy, major product design. Sorry.
Most of them have learned to print so far, so good. Jack Klein, product design.
Annabelle Taylor, major in product design.
Dane Rinsler, EPOD.
Ainsley June Watkins, major in product design.
Megan Williams, product design.
Aiden Dravenstadt, major in planning, summa cum laude, minor in Spanish and geography.
Ella Decatur. Kunz? Kunz, there, right. Good.
Ainsley McElwee, major in planning, summa cum laude, minor in business and geography.
Oh, sure. Julia Alejandro Rodriguez, architecture.
Isabella Fahey, major landscape architecture, minor in business.
Andy Tran, architecture.
Nico Fuentes, major in sustainable planning and urban design, minor in geography.
Owen Blake, architecture.
Jack Severn, major in urban planning.
Leonardo Torres Hinosos, product design.
Erica Hung, major architecture, minor creative technology and design.
Let's do it together,
Okay,
Jade.
all right.
Spencer William Boo.
Congratulations, graduates. Each of you has friends and family who supported you along the way. In the case of this class, your friends and family, especially your family, probably supported you a little more than they ever thought they were going to have to when you probably moved home during your freshman year and had to stay there and do some of your classes online. So students, please stand and join me in a round of applause for your friends and family. If you have not already visited the senior exhibit over in the ENVD building, we encourage you to do so. It will be up through Friday. It's a showcase of all of the senior work. And it's a nice demonstration of all the really hard work that these students have put in the last 4 years. That concludes our ceremony. Please join us at the back of the auditorium for cake, and congratulations one last time.